Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of Intuitive Angling, and man, I really appreciate you guys making some time to check the video out. And today, guys, I'm going to give everybody a refresher course on the Megabass Dark Sleeper. It's getting to be Dark Sleeper season right now, and I got a bunch of info, a bunch of good juice on this bait. Incredible fish catcher that's been duplicated a lot by other companies, but make no mistake about it, this is the real deal and the original one. And I'm going to give you guys some really good juice that you guys are going to become quick fans of this bait here. So we'll get into it here in a second. And real quick, guys, I'm really making a push this week as far as on the channel to let everybody know that we've got our summer Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns up on the website right now. And I'll put the Fish the Moment lake map breakdown link in the description. And these are maps that I build for Fish the Moment that gives you 40 GPS waypoints on a bunch of lakes across the country, tips and advice on how to fish each spot. It's a really good resource to build a foundation for any lake that you want to learn more about or catch fish on if you've never been there. And if you have a lake that you fish that we don't have on our website, you can book a virtual lesson with me, and I can go over any lake in the country with you guys, regardless of size of it. Much appreciated. Fish the Moment link in the description. Okay, guys, some of you guys, I don't know how many know and how many don't. Some of you guys are familiar with this, some of you guys aren't. This is the Megabass Dark Sleeper right here. This bait has been out for several years now. Guys, this bait right here is still under the radar. And the reason it's under the radar is pros are using it, a ton of guys are using it and catching fish on it, but there hasn't been a major tournament win on this bait yet, simply because the conditions haven't lined up. But I'm telling you guys right now, I have this thing tied on a bunch throughout the whole course of the year, and my favorite time to fish it, there's two different windows for it. It's between like now and July, and then I catch a lot of fish on it in the winter too. But specifically, I want to talk about this bait for this right now, this part of the year, late spring, early summer, that type of stuff. So anyway, like I said, this is a refresher course. If you guys have seen this before, bear with me. If you haven't, you guys will get some good info here, but regardless, you're going to get some info you've never heard here before on it. But a little bit about this bait. It looks like a swim bait. It's not a swim bait. It's not designed to be fished like a swim bait, but it's a swim bait in the terms it's got the paddle tail, looks like a fish, and the tail wiggles when you reel it through the water column. But the unique thing about it, again, that has been copied by other companies out there, is the Dark Sleeper. You can see here, it's keel weighted on the bottom towards the front of it here with a flat weight. And this allows the Dark Sleeper to set like that on the bottom. And therefore, you fish this bait as a bottom bait, almost like a Texas rig or a jig or something like that, because you can throw it out there, hits the bottom, and then you just hop it off the bottom just like a jig, and it stands back up like that, and almost like a little sculpin on the bottom. Now on the dorsal fin, the hook is positioned between the dorsal fin there. You got like an opening for it. Acts as a weed guard, works really nice. It's got a small, super stiff hook in there, and I'll bend that hook out just a little bit to catch a little bit more. You can catch them on it like that, but I'll usually bend it out a little bit more. And it comes in a variety of sizes, anywhere between 1/4 ounce up to 3/4 of an ounce. 3 different sizes. You got a 2.4 inch, you got a 3 inch, and a 3.5 inch. This is the 3 inch here. This is the middle size. So anyway, guys, let's talk a little bit about the area and specifically how you want to fish it here. I have fished it all over the country, and I fished it a bunch here in the Ozarks. It's really good in this part of the country, but let me describe like the ideal scenario for it, and then we'll get into some outliers a little bit. The ideal situation for the Dark Sleeper, first of all, let's talk about water clarity. You really need about, at least in my opinion, you need like 3 foot of clarity for this bait to really excel. Now you can catch them in a little bit less than 3 feet, but this bait it's a combination, in my opinion. It's almost like a finesse. I call it a finessey reaction bait, sort of. But regardless, it is sort of a sight bait. So that's why I like at least 3 foot of visibility on up to as clear as you want to get. I caught, excuse me, a bunch of fish at Bull Shoals Lake and Lake Mead, areas where you got 20 foot of visibility. So the visibility limit is unlimited as far as on the clear side, but like a minimum of 3 foot visibility, number one. Water temperature is not really a factor. I've caught them in 90-degree water in it, and I've caught them in 40-degree water in it. They'll catch them in a lot of different situations. And the same with the cloud and the wind conditions. The thing about the Dark Sleeper that really makes it excel is that it'll catch fish in wind, it'll catch fish on calm days, it'll catch fish on bright sunny days or cloudy days. It's one of the most versatile baits as far as how many conditions it excels in. A lot of baits are very condition oriented. In other words, you got to have specific conditions for them as far as wind or lack of wind, water temperature, water clarity, cover, all that type of stuff. But for the Dark Sleeper, the only criteria that I really pay a lot of attention to is that water clarity of at least 3 feet. Now, another thing about this is this bait is really good around clean bottoms. It's weedless enough. I've even caught fish flipping this thing in flooded bushes before, but to me it excels on some type of a clean bottom, whether it be gravel, it could be sand, it could be some type of rock, it could be mud, it could be bluff banks, you know, anything like that. Some type of a clean bottom with not a lot of snaggy type areas in it. If I had to guess, probably my favorite scenario to fish it would be something sort where you've got like 4 to 6 foot water clarity, and you've got long sloping flat points, and those flat points have small rock, gravel, clay, or mud on it. Those type of a scenario with a mixed species. Now, it works good for straight largemouth lakes, but there's something about it. If you have a lake that has some element of a mix of spotted bass, largemouth, and smallmouth, they just eat this thing up. It's just incredible how many bites you can get on a time. The first time I fished it, guys, I had like a 75 fish day on this thing. It was at Table Rock in July several years ago when it first came out, and the very first time I took it down there, it was one of the funnest trips I've ever had with the thing. So it works in a wide range of conditions there. Now, as far as the equipment you want to throw it on, the 2.4 inch size, which is the small one, I'll throw it usually on that Megabass Whip Snake spinning rod, 6-pound test Seaguar and Vizex line. If I'm throwing the 3-inch size, which I throw quite a bit, I'm usually using something like that Megabass Perfect Pitch with 10-pound test Seaguar and Vizex. And if I'm throwing the bigger one, the 3.5-inch size that weighs 3/4 of an ounce, same rod, but usually I'll upsize to maybe 12 to 15-pound test and Vizex line. Those are the main things there. But usually the way I fish it, guys, is, you know, I'll make a long cast. The long cast is critical. Let it hit the bottom. Keep my rod tip fairly high, and I'll reel down and just snap it like that. Let it fall down, snap it like that. And sometimes I'll snap it and I'll pop it twice like that to get it going like up off the bottom. And when you get the bite on it, the bite comes in 2 different ways. It's like, I'm going to say 75% of the time is when you pop it up like that. When you pop it, the fish is there, so I'll pop it, I'll feel it, and just start reeling. And the other time is when you throw it out there, pop it, and the line's falling, and you see your line just jump like that. That's a fun way to catch them when they do that, but I'm going to say that happens about 25% of the time out there. And there's a lot of different color variations, guys. They've got, you know, lots of different shad patterns like this. They have a variety of different crawdad colors and crawdad patterns. The guys, they are just incredible fish catchers. Like I said, I'll put the Baitworks link in the description. Baitworks has a huge stock of the Dark Sleepers here. You can use that link. It can help the channel out here both. And like I said, just a refresher course here. Incredible fish catcher, guys. Don't be fooled by the imitations by other companies. This is the real deal. And it's just a really fun, unique bait to fish. So hope it helps out. We'll talk to y'all later.